Alright dudes and dudettes, shit in the video game world is getting real because Iron Maiden has just filed a $2 million lawsuit against 3D Realms due to the upcoming video game Ion Maiden and its likeness to the band. This story was posted online about 15 hours ago all across the media outlets. Eurogamer, PC Gamer, everybody's covering it. 3D Realms has already given a statement against Iron Maiden and the lawsuit, all that business. So Iron Maiden has filed a $2 million lawsuit against 3D Realms because Ion Maiden is very close to Iron Maiden. It actually, if you look at it, I don't know if you guys caught this or not, but if you take Ion and add an R after the I, it spells iron. Oh my god, it spells iron. So that was actually grounds enough, or at least, you know, Iron Maiden thought to go ahead and just fucking slap a lawsuit against 3D Realms for it. And then they're also, in the lawsuit, they've stated that the game's logo, which is a half skull, it's like a stencil graffiti style half skull, apparently that looks like Eddie, the band's mascot. I really don't want to fucking bash Iron Maiden because I love Iron Maiden. I'm a huge fan of Iron Maiden, but this is bullshit. This is pure bullshit, plain and simple. The $2 million, I'm actually grateful that they're only suing for $2 million because for a band of that caliber, a band who over the years has become a brand, you know, like Metallica, they could have easily sued for like upwards of $50 million. You know, they could have just done something completely nuts. But what bothers me is they're suing for reparations because 3D Realms' work on Ion Maiden having all this likeness just taken and stolen from the band, it's caused them irreparable damage towards potential revenue and just fucking stupid stuff, really. Like, here's the thing, Ion Maiden's only been out for what, a year and a half, 2 years at the most. It's a game that's still in early access. The only thing that people have played of the game is the early access campaign, which was specially made for people who are backing the project. And that's it, man. I don't even think they've had merchandise rolled out on Ion Maiden. And here's the thing, even if they did, let's say they're selling t-shirts, I guarantee you 3D Realms has not racked up $2 million in merchandise charges. Like, that's what bothers me, is there's a lot of these really big name entities that will just fucking sue over the most trivial thing, but they'll sue for more than they need. Like, why 2 million? I mean, you've got 2.2 million followers on Twitter. Was that your basis for what to sue them on? I mean, why 2 million? They haven't racked up. Seriously, like, why not just demand their accountant to gather all the transactions, all the receipts from all the transactions, online, physical, what have you, and then go from there. Like, I mean, $2 million in merch? Bullshit, dude, come on. That's absolutely ridiculous. And then they're also demanding in the lawsuit that 3D Realms hands over the rights to the domain of ionmaiden.com. First of all, when you created Iron Maiden, which, by the way, the name is actually taken from a medieval torture device, the Iron Maiden. So it's not even something that was originally created by like Bruce Dickinson or anybody within the band. When you created Iron Maiden and you established it as a trademark, as a brand, I'm sure that you didn't work into those little documents, the legal documents, that any kind of derivative that's essentially close to Iron Maiden is protected. You know, I'm sure you didn't do anything like that. So Ion Maiden has all the right to fucking exist. It does. It does. And the funny thing is, when you take the R out of iron, it becomes ion. And ion is actually a word. For those of you who don't know what an ion is an atom or molecule with a net electric charge due to the loss or gain of one or more electrons. So it's an actual word that exists already in the scientific language. And then maiden is also a word by itself too. If you don't know what maiden is, a maiden is a girl or a young woman who's not married. And it actually doubles in sports too. In cricket, it's actually an over in which no runs have been scored. So when you combine the two, it creates something that's completely separate from Iron Maiden. It's contextually different from what Iron Maiden is. An Ion Maiden is just, I would say, like an electrically charged woman, I guess, and I don't know, but it's vastly different in meaning from Iron Maiden. So yes, it sounds the same. I'm sure people could get confused. I've never confused Iron Maiden with Ion Maiden. I've known exactly what I was talking about when I differentiate between the two, but I guess some people have that kind of a problem. Secondly, The logo is under scrutiny because it looks like Eddie. And again, the logo for Ion Maiden is a half skull. It's supposed to be like a stencil, graffiti stencil that is a half skull that she has spray painted all over her bombs, which is pretty fucking cool. But they're saying that this half skull is purely just the fucking likeness of this skull. And Eddie is bullshit. I have to call bullshit. Which Eddie does it look like? Because Eddie does not stay the same on every fucking album cover. So again, I ask, what Eddie does it resemble? Is it Trooper Eddie? Is it Eddie from the Killers album? Is it Eddie Somewhere in Time? Is it the fucking Egyptian Eddie? Which one is it? Because here's the thing, I watch a lot of Boston Legal. And if it's one thing that James Spader has taught me, it's that when you file a lawsuit, you have to be very specific. You have to include anything and everything that you want to sue for. Now, here's the thing. If you, let's say you have a Barbie doll. Let's say you've created a toy that resembles Malibu Barbie. If Mattel was going to sue you, the best thing that they could do is sue you for having a doll that resembles their Malibu Barbie as well as Barbie in general. If they sue you for just having a toy that resembles Malibu Barbie, they can't also sue you like mid-lawsuit for having a doll or a toy that looks or is conceptually the same as Barbie. It's all got to be in the same lawsuit, otherwise they have to spend time and money and effort to create new documents, a new lawsuit that has what they want to sue you for in it. So it's got to be very specific. In this case, I don't think they've specified which Eddie it looks like. It's just that it looks like Eddie. And if they go off of that alone, they're going to lose. Because the half skull does not resemble any Eddie so far. Now, if it resembles a specific Eddie, please tell me and put that in the fucking lawsuit, because if I was a judge, I'd have to throw that out. Also, I love the fact that everybody's chiming in about how 3D Realms doesn't have a chance in hell against Iron Maiden in a court case, so they're just gonna have to fucking, face down, ass up, and give Iron Maiden what they want, because Iron Maiden has more money. And they absolutely have more money, but I also think we're underestimating 3D Realms. Sometimes I think 3D Realms just does shit to get sued because they're bored. 3D Realms could create a certified video game that teaches you how to deal with lawsuits. I'm poking fun at 3D Realms, but I actually love 3D Realms. I think they're a great company. I love the games that they've put out and the hard work that they've put into their games, and I think everything's gonna be okay. I think at the very least, something's gonna happen with Ion Maiden, whether it's a name change. Honestly, if Iron Maiden was interested in settling it all, if they're not dicks and they, are willing to settle, the only thing you'd have to do is cut ties with anything and everything that Iron Maiden sees as, relatable to them. Which really sucks, because Ion Maiden, again, has existed for quite some time now. I really think that if this was going to happen, this should have happened within, the first to third month of Ion Maiden existing. But again, worst case scenario, 3D Realms concedes, and they go ahead and give up the Ion Maiden motif, and they just rework the title and this, that, and the other. Now, if they're forced to change the name of the character, that's bullshit too, because one of the things that Iron Maiden was saying is that the name of the character, the name of the main character, Shelly Harrison, is a ripoff of the band's bassist and primary songwriter, Steve Harris. Now, it's either a really huge coincidence that Shelly Harrison just happens to have the same two initials as Steve Harris, or, maybe somebody at 3D Realms was a huge Iron Maiden fan and they planned this shit out. I don't know. But what I do know is that I actually have the legal right to create an intellectual property, and within that property I could have characters named after every single one of the band members of Iron Maiden, and legally I have that right to do so long as it does not infringe upon their likeness. Keyword likeness. It is the same thing with Konami and Silent Hill 2. If you guys remember, when Silent 2 was being made, Konami actually used the voice actor's likeness to create James Sunderland. Guy Seehee, the voice actor of James Sunderland, actually gave his likeness to the game, and that's how James was created. So James is essentially Guy Seehee. And the contract was only good for the initial release of Silent Hill 2. It didn't cover any future projects or re-releases that involved the James Sunderland character or the Silent 2 narrative. It didn't involve any of that. It was literally just for the initial release of Silent Hill 2. So that's what Guy Seehee was all on about, was the fact that they were using his likeness out of contract. And the same goes for Ion Maiden. Now, if Shelly Harrison looked like Steve Harris, okay, you might have an argument, because that's just kind of fucking weird, but she doesn't. She doesn't look anything like Steve Harris, and it's not Her name's not Steve Harris, it's Shelly Harrison. So yes, it's similar by coincidence, but it really doesn't do anything for the band's argument. I'm having a hard time figuring out where the ground that they're standing on actually lies, because so far everything they put into this lawsuit just seems like one big fucking jump that not even Evel Knievel could clear. Rock Paper Shotgun has stated that this isn't the first time that the name has caused legal troubles for 3D Realms. Apparently they did try to trademark the name Ion Maiden back in 2018, but then Iron Maiden Holdings, the company that's behind all of Iron Maiden's brand affairs, they stepped in and objected to the attempt to trademark the name Ion Maiden, and 3D Realms then abandoned any attempts to do so later on in the future. Now, in the court of law, that definitely shows that 3D Realms knew about Iron Maiden as a brand, as a band, knows about the name, and I'm sure some people would hold the position that 3D Realms was trying to trade off their name. But I'm telling you, the way I see it, if Joe Satriani didn't win his lawsuit against Coldplay for blatantly ripping him off, which they absolutely did, then I think 3D Realms has a hell of a shot. Now, as I said earlier, 3D Realms did make a statement in regards to the lawsuit. I'm not going to read you the entire statement that they made. If you want to go ahead and read it for yourself, go over to Twitter, follow 3D Realms, that way you're kept up to date with everything that's going on over there. But they did make mention that we at 3D Realms, our co-publishers 1C Entertainment, and developer Voidpoint will review our options once we receive official notice of the lawsuit, and will make any necessary decisions at the appropriate time. Regardless, everyone continues to work diligently on Ion Maiden to deliver the best possible experience later this year, so they are completely undeterred. The lawsuit hasn't even gone out officially in a notice to 3D Realms yet, so, I mean, everything right now is just speculation. There's nothing happening. It's not really a big deal yet, but it absolutely could be. And again, what happens to Ion Maiden is absolutely up to Iron Maiden and 3D Realms, which will be, discussed and decided upon at a later time. That's it from me, dudes and dudettes. I'm Derek with GameSomniac. Thanks so much for watching. Be sure to leave a like if you enjoyed the video, subscribe if you want to see more, and don't forget to leave a comment. Let me know if you're on Team 3D Realms or Team Iron Maiden. As soon as we hear something else, we'll make more videos, keep you guys up to date. And again, subscribe if you want to see more video game news and entertainment right here at GameSomniac. Bye-bye!